Like,
What? Wait, did you
here.
listen to Feedback Error on the way here?
Yeah, that's literally what I said like 5 seconds ago.
He did.
Yeah,
He did he?
I'm a professional. Yeah, that's how you make callbacks and shit. You gotta and getting the right. That's why I was so giddy and in the mode when I got here. You commented that I was like a bit a bit fucking. I don't know.
I think what I said is you look flustered. You're okay.
Yeah, that's when I perform at my best. When I'm a little bit. When there's chaos around it, when I don't know what's going on. I'm so upsettingly sober.
I thought you didn't know the answer to the trivia questions. That's what made you upset when you walked in.
No, that made me horny. They put me on this. Old people put me on the spot.
My apartment building now features a trivia competition you have to walk through to get to the door.
Yeah, it was quite bizarre. It was like those trolls that sit underneath bridges and they ask you questions. But if you get it wrong, you can still enter. Because what are old people going to do to us?
That's it. I genuinely, I was a little bit, I don't get anxious or awkward in many situations now. I can find, especially doing comedy, I've really worked that muscle so that if I get thrown in an unfamiliar situation, I can switch into comedy brain and it's like, okay, I can handle this, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I kind of did that, but on the way up, I was like, fuck, what do I say to these people? Just a bunch of oldies doing trivia with kids in the fucking driveway. What do I do here?
Yeah.
Do I pull out my dick pic material? So what do you guys think about unsolicited dick pics?
Me and Jemma nearly went out and did a type 5.
Yeah, we were contemplating.
We're craving an audience that bad.
We were sitting there that's an audience. We could all just walk out there and start doing material and they'd be happy.
Yeah, you guys should have told me. I could have brought my PA. Could have set that up in the driveway.
I think I've burned enough bridges here that I would not do well. You guys might.
You're like the home comic that everyone kind of hates, but you're going to introduce us.
Yeah.
And we're the new comics that they haven't seen before.
Yeah. Is that just, and again, this is a callback to the last episode, is that just because they're sick of hearing your loud Jayde farts?
Oh my God. The whole top of the house is very warm. Because hot air rises.
Jayde farts. Can that be a sponsor of the podcast? Jayde farts?
Sponsored by
Jayde farts.
The Jayde farts.
They linger.
Feedback error.
Now I feel like we should have listened to the last part.
I feel very unprepared.
We were alone for 2 hours before
it's
Nick came
actually
over.
quite funny.
Yeah,
and we
you
did
do a good job of editing out the bitterness pretty significantly.
Yeah, there wasn't
I didn't sound that bitter on it. I didn't.
Actually, you get
as
onto
bitter
a
as I
few
was.
tangents that are really happy and weird, so all of them are in there. There's a good amount of material. I went through
it was like an hour and a half we recorded.
Yeah, we recorded for a long time, and that was like a 25.
Oh my God, you know what I'm going to do?
And people were still like, "Is Nick okay?"
Yeah. I'm going to do a bitter episode, and I'll edit it together, send it to you, and you can tell me if you're still okay.
Do the alternate universe, the most bitter episode.
This is off the top of the old one. The following is an excerpt from Light Bulbs that I had to cut out because it was too bitter. Enjoy.
No, it's real funny.
That was Nick's idea. My idea was getting food. So I think,
I'm a bad person. Well pointed out, Jayde. We get it. You're a fucking saint, all right?
She did house us. She's housed us. She fed us last night. She took us out to see lovely ladies.
And now you're pointing out that I'm being ungrateful. I get it, Jemma. I'm a terrible person.
Nah, Nick,
stop telling people I'm nice.
Nick made breakfast. I did nothing today. Yesterday.
Yeah, Jayde, no, you did wine and dine us last night. It was to a very fancy restaurant.
I did, yeah, and I still didn't get laid.
Yeah, I was going to say we didn't put it out. How
Not
shitty
that I'm bitter about it, guys.
I came back with you, didn't I? What else do you want?
we both came back to your house. You got us here. The rest was on you. You had to make the first move.
She's not a closer, man. She doesn't close.
Not a closer.
I got into a real big argument with a dude at a pub in Toowoomba one night. I was real drunk and I was just dancing and having a good time. This guy came up to me and goes, "Man, I got to tell you, dude, you are the best opener I've ever seen." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "But man, you just cannot close." I was in a particularly woke mood, so I was giving him a lecture on how looking at women like that's a real crook fucking fucked way to look at things. It's not about that. I'm just trying to have a good time. They're just trying to have a good time, whatever
Nick,
else.
that's why you don't close.
Well, I was going to say, you know what happened? He went home with the girl I was dancing with.
Oh, no.
It's pretty brutal.
My closing move is just staying out longer than the other girls. Because if you're there and you're the only one there.
That's a fight to the fittest.
You're going home with someone.
You're demonstrating
I don't like going out though, so sometimes if I know a hot guy I want to hook up with is out, I'll go out late in the night. and just catch like the last half hour.
Don't you just go up and ask them? You just go up and be like, hey, how about it? And then that's the end, right? Isn't that how it works?
Is that what life's like as a hot person?
Fuck, I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, do you want to have sex with me? Okay.
Yeah.
No, you just go over.
Usually, when I'm involved, there's a lot of begging involved. Maybe I transfer some property over to. I don't know.
I'd have a lot more hobbies if I had the kind of spare time freed up that I currently spend thinking about how to get laid.
This
can't be that hard for you. You're a hot girl too. You're talking about her being hot. You're a hot girl too. It can't be hard for you either.
People are scared of me.
I say this all the time, and Jayde talks about how hard it is, and I'm like, it's because she got hot mean girl energy, where like she's hot and it intimidates people, and I think that's why people don't approach you, because they're a little bit like, she's too good for me.
I don't know. People approach you. You get laid heaps. Just, okay, not in the last week,
but
prior to the last week.
It's been a really tough week.
1 week off. That's just, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds brutal.
Nick's a veteran. Let's listen to him.
Yeah. I've got years of experience of actually being in the trenches.
I played in the minors. He's in the Hall of Fame.
I'm a Marine. You're a fucking National Guard. That's what this is.
Don't listen to me. I'm just turning around like, just go up and ask someone to have sex.
Yeah. What? People say no to that?
What?
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Should we have the horny alarm?
This isn't horny. This is sad.
This is a sad one.
Talk.
Yeah, play the sad one.
What's the sad horny bit?
Doing this hungover when Nick and I are having a hard time this has not been a great idea.
Is the best. I would argue this has been the best.
We're usually not this upset.
I would say that's the cheery optimism of someone who's not going to go home and contemplate bricking themselves. So.
I'm glad Jemma's here or this. Like, we wouldn't legally be able to publish this. They'd be like, I'm sorry, you can't encourage suicide.
You guys got to put a trigger warning at the start of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a hard week. I had a bad threesome, remember? It was not a great time.
Yeah, I had a lot of complicated feelings about that story, I'll be honest.
It's a really weird story, because it's a little bit like a brag, but it's also a little bit like, wow, that's actually quite devastating.
Yeah.
But it's also a brag. It's very difficult.
I don't know. What's the sex version of
I
a
had a tough time because, like...
It's like, yeah, having that much privilege does sound tough. Oh, what, your butler didn't fold your fucking bed sheets right?
It must be tough to have to try and fuck two people at the same time.
I was going to say, but also at the same time, I acknowledge the emotional... I could relate to the emotional situation you're in. Yeah, it was...
Has anyone been in that situation though?
No, not even close. Not even. I'm not even sure that most of them have sex with girls. They're in the room, like they're thinking this. They're picturing being somewhere. They're probably picturing a threesome with two other people. It's weird now because I think I'm less bitter about the things I was bitter about at the time, but I'm bitter about different things now. So is that?
Yeah. Well, we're all bitter about no comedy.
Yeah,
like
that
that's
sucks.
a bit sucky.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick hasn't destroyed my kitchen today. I was a bit bitter about that last time, but like today's good.
I was gonna even suggest like cook dinner tonight to be like old time's sake, but then didn't get here till 1 o'clock, and that was.
If you cook, I'm happy to clean. If that happens again.
Hey.
All right, yeah.
Because I'm good at cleaning stuff.
I'll buy the ingredients.
Okay. We have made I'm happy with the deal we've cut today.
Yes. You provide the house, Nick provides the food, and I clean after.
We're not even doing a podcast. We're just making sure we got this recorded.
Yeah.
So we can hold each other accountable
it's a
for our
verbal
part.
contract.
Yeah.
It's legally binding
I'm
now.
also cleaning in this contract.
Is it
Have
sexy?
you cleaned in other contracts?
Yeah.
What other contracts have you cleaned?
The first contract that I was in there was heaps of cleaning.
She's not talking about cleaning contracts.
Yeah.
The
what?
contract, the sub-dom one. That I was in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
there was heaps of cleaning in
were you a
that.
cleaning sub? Is that what you...
Yeah.
The role you played? Okay.
Yeah.
Me and Jayde can, like, I don't know, whip you or something at the time if that helps. We can say dirty things to you while you do the cleaning if that is.
Will you enjoy the cleaning if me and Nick had turned on at the time?
I think that's... Yeah.
I'm so horny for a sparkling floor.
It's so weird because the concept of it, if you just say it, it's not hot.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think back, and I think
Does
back
it
and I
work
think
like
it
if
was
you're-
hot, but I just can't explain
if
how.
while you're putting, like, some plates away or something, we just, like hold your head down there for a little bit longer.
Stay down.
And we don't let you use a dishcloth or something. You just got to use your shirt. Is that? I don't know.
No, I just cleaned like a normal. It was just normal cleaning.
I think your ex-boyfriend just tricked you into cleaning.
Yeah, I think he just told me to clean a lot, and I did.
Really
Oh my god. My throat hurts now. I'm sorry.
I'd have a drink of water out of my water bottle I bought from home.
It's really
That's
dumb.
pretty good.
Yeah, I like that you bought a water bottle to my fully functioning house.
Look,
Do I just seem like someone who doesn't have refreshments or glasses?
You're selling everything you own. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to guarantee that I don't have food when we come over.
You can always put like your mouth under the tap.
I've done that here. Yeah, a couple of times. I just want you to know I've done that.
That was a weird way to find out.
No. I've been. Yeah, it's been on the. I've been so the.
Jemma made that tea before you even got here.
Yeah, I know. It was up on the bench. I saw it before, and I was gonna be like, all right, well, someone's doing something.
Yeah,
with
she
this.
put it down. She's like, this is too hot.
She
and that was about 2.5 hours
T
ago.
Jemma would have remembered to bring it over.
Reminder Jemma should have reminded her to talk to Tea Jemma to check on the tea.
But then she got to the sink and she pulled the mustache off, and it was the same Jemma the whole time.
Plot twist. Okay. There's a recurring clone in it every single episode.
How do you know?
I wrote them. There's a there's a recurring clone.
Jemma, you're too pretty to not have to be this lonely.
Okay, so Jemma always hangs out with Lazy Clone because Lazy Clone doesn't do shit, right? And it's almost like they're the odd couple
Were
of
you
the series.
homeschooled? Like, why are you so weird?
Wait, and Lazy Clone keeps
So much
telling
thought
her
has gone into
it's
this.
got a hot.
And the fact that you remember how it all fits together. That's what makes this fucking great.
This is how the story goes. So Jemma the whole time is not Jemma. She's actually the original clone. And Lazy Clone is Jemma. And the only reason Lazy Clone's Lazy Clone is because she's pretending that she's just a clone so she doesn't have to do shit. She keeps telling the original clone that she's Jemma, so Jemma freaks out about everything and tries to fix it.
Have you seen that?
It's actually quite a good plot twist.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
solid. Have you guys seen that old Jennifer Lopez movie, Cell?
What's that?
No.
It's pretty sick. Go back and watch it. Oh, actually, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. It might not hold up. But it's like there's a serial killer and they need to find out where he's got his victims stored. And there's this new virtual technology where she can like enter his mind. And so she's like entered his brain. It's all fucked up and it's like this twisted labyrinth. So she's trying to get to the information to know where he's hidden the body. I would be very scared to do that inside your brain. Jemma, for that story. Like
Gemma's brain feels
Yeah.
like the one that they would warn you against because they tested it with her and someone got trapped. Like, and they never came out.
There's many people trapped in my brain. Sometimes they tell me to burn things.
just trapped in a web of confusion and horniness.
I would love to see the inside of Gemma's brain, though. I feel like it would be like an amusement park crossed with a circus.
It's like mainly black and sometimes little spots of red.
Oh, she's having a stroke. Take the money. Jemma, just tell us, though. We need to know. Just cut to the chase. The mustache Jemma and lazy Jemma ever get together? the real will they or won't
they're
they?
like the Rachel and
Yeah, I
Ross.
was
Yeah,
gonna
I
say.
know, I get it. Yeah.
What if we start writing fan fiction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Erotic Jemma fan.
Yeah.
Please don't. It's such a wholesome universe as it is right now.
Is
You know what,
It
Jemma?
actually is. It's really
You ruined
wholesome.
my dad for me. I can ruin this for you.
Can you not ruin me
Oh, don't
for
worry.
me?
Jayde's dad's going to be in it. He's going to make a cameo appearance.
Oh no, self-insert of Jade's dad. I welcome this. I welcome this because Jade's dad's very hot.
He's pretty hot.
He's very
pretty
hot.
handsome.
Very handsome.
Less than it is.
I made it worse. That's on me.
Yeah, you should have mentioned your dad. You
I
gotta
can't
say
be that
yeah.
upset about that one.
You can't ever, you know what's funny? You can't ever mention your dad without one of us
I
doing
literally
something horny.
can't. I try saying like a nice thing about my parents and one of you makes it sexual. Usually Nick.
Yeah, it's almost always me, yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
my thing. It's
Like
me and your dad.
immediately as well. And the worst part is how much my dad loves you.
Yeah, I know. Well, because we fuck a bunch. But do you think it would change his opinion of me to know that I'm horny for him?
And I'm only horny because he doesn't love me as much. And we know how I feel about necking. He's got us played.
Yeah.
Your dad's good.
One day we're going to be in a room with your dad and he's just going to look at me and we're going to have a bit of a chat and then Gemma's just going to be there texting him nudes.
See, I have a butt.
Sick brag.
Feels so dumb.
I love it.
Do we have any content?
No,
No, I don't think so. We didn't.
we don't do
No,
that.
we don't do that here. No, it's fine.
If we talk for 7 more minutes, we got 2 episodes.
Sick.
Oh God, what does that mean? An hour?
Yeah. Like 15 minutes of it will be laughing.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
About 10 minutes will be Jemma and her clothes.
Just Jemma clients.
I feel weird. You know
I
what's
don't
funny?
even want to be in that episode. I want that to be like a special upload and it's just Jemma describing the clothes and I'm not even in it.
It's already there. It's
You know,
on her YouTube. We've just got to go.
You know
into
what's
it.
strange? I know, like
It's
you were
Bert
saying,
Shane,
I
right?
remember it so well. And as I was explaining it, I was like, "This is the weirdest thing I've ever
It
made."
got really detailed.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Got
I
real-
thought there was going to be like 5 clones max.
That's only one. That's one episode. There's like 18 clones. There's one shot where there's 10 of me in a room, and I'm doing different things, and I pause and look at the camera. And it took me ages to film it. It's really stupid.
It was like Worst where like your clones escape at the end of the first season or whatever, and then they get out and then they just find out they're in the Japanese.
They don't want to leave
Jemma
me.
world.
What if Gemma's not airy? What if we're just talking to a new Gemma each time and she's trying to like
she's
fill in
just
the
trying
blanks?
to, yeah, she does just trying to work out what's going on.
I don't even know who.
Why
I
would you
don't
give us
know.
which Jemma have we got right now?
No, I'm Jemma, the original. I mean, I'm Jemma.
The
Just
real-
me.
We've got the first clone.
All right, take off that not having a mustache. That's mustache, Jemma.
Pull my lip off. There's a mustache.
Turns out you just got a skin-coloured band-aid over your top lip, so we can't see it.
I've made up a clone called In Between Clone. No, I made up a clone called Middleman Clone. And she walks up to him and she goes, "I'm cutting you out," and just keeps going. What? Because she cut out the middleman. She just keeps walking. It's so stupid.
Oh no!
It's great.
Nick, should we tell someone about this?
Let's just save this for us.
I feel kind of
so
bad laughing at it in case someone points at it later and they're like, they should have known.
This was the first sign of the aneurysm.
There's a clone called In the Middle of Something Clone. And I just open the door and I go, "Hey," and she goes, "What?" And she's like fixing a car. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're," and she goes, "In the middle of something." And I just walk out. It's not. They just
I
made
don't
up.
even have anything to say
Right,
about
yeah,
this.
it's just.
It doesn't sound insane until I describe it. Is that insanity? When you start
Yeah.
have I just started
Literally
realize I'm a little
talking
bit
to
insane?
12 different versions of yourself in a room? Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny if there were
Might
no
be.
videos.
She doesn't even have a YouTube
Don't
channel.
have a- There's just a whole like 10 years of my life just it doesn't exist.
We're going to contact her parents and be like, hey, is Jemma okay? And they'll be like, she's not at the hospital.
I reckon, you know what happens? Okay, we call her parents. We go, all right, we need to talk about Jemma. They say, all right, come over. Gemma's not home. She's at work. We get there, and it's just Jemma. 2 Gemmas sitting there dressed as and then a third Jemma comes in pretending to be a sister, just carrying crystals in the background or some shit. And then the dog comes in, it's just Jemma.
In a pretty collar.
Yeah, pretty collar with a little tail or whatever. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what.
Are you pitching
I'm
an
gonna have-
episode? Because I'll write that. That'll be the next YouTube video.
I'm absolutely going to have nightmares about this. I'm going to have some fucked up dreams
that's
tonight.
really strange because, I want to say maybe 20 minutes ago, 3 Gemmas was your dream.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
And now it's your
That was her
nightmare.
plan all along. She's ruined your fantasy.
Done.
Why do you keep doing this?
I just want to crush your dreams.
Don't worry. The nightmare will turn into a sex dream pretty quick. It'll be fine.
It always does.
Yeah, they do.
I don't mind if a sex dream turns into a nightmare either. Like, as long as there's some action in there.
As long as you're getting laid, you don't care what happens afterwards.
Yeah. Have you ever had this? Is very personal. Have you ever had a sex dream where you've come in the dream, woken up, and you've come? Because I've done that.
Yeah.
That's called a wet dream. That's very
Yeah,
common.
and that doesn't happen with
Not for
women.
girls, Nick.
Oh, isn't it? Oh.
No, it happened to me
Well,
once in my
you've both just said you've done it.
once
so-
in my life. Once.
I
Yeah.
reckon once and a half, I'm going to say.
Okay.
I had to like finish the job when I woke up.
Well, you got it.
But
yeah.
it didn't take long.
You couldn't even finish yourself.
Okay,
in the
can I
dream.
posit a theory here?
Yes.
Okay, is it Okay, we're going. We're real. Okay,
He wasn't expecting us to say yes. Like he wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
No, okay.
No,
I'm
go,
positive it's here.
continue.
Okay, so because when you're a young guy, like especially, I don't know, my generation might be different now, but it was still quite shameful to masturbate. So you'd try and go for a while without doing it. Like especially when the first time you do it, you're like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I know it's wrong. I know I shouldn't be doing it. So
Okay.
you try and wait a little while because that's when wet dreams come. Like if I go like a couple of weeks without anything, then that's when they happen. Like your
Interesting.
body's just like, fuck, I'm so pent up. But is it just a case where girls just like get into it and you're just doing it, you know, like you're keeping yourself regulated enough that doesn't happen. The build up doesn't happen. Your body doesn't need the release.
Oh, maybe.
Well, I mean-
What I'm saying
I'm
is,
trying
do
to
you guys jack off heaps?
Oh, that was such a roundabout way of going. Say this guy's masturbate a lot, and how do you do it? And can I have a demonstration?
I was explaining the logic out so I couldn't get in trouble.
I masturbate once a day.
I go through phases. It's at least once a day.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
normal.
Oh.
Nice.
This is
But
the hand
like,
I use.
Me too.
Yes, yes.
I can't imagine how terrifying it would be though, as a young boy, like the first time you actually come,
That would be freaky.
like, and you get like the semen.
It really is. Absolutely do not keep this in, but I'll tell you guys.
And no
Yeah.
one talks about this.
Well,
like,
you don't,
it's
cause,
not-
especially because like everyone like at school they say they show.
I
the
didn't know
videos.
until I watched Big Mouth that like that happened at a certain point in a guy's life. I didn't know
What happened. What
Do
happened?
they come this.
that like stuff actually comes out. I didn't know that didn't always happen.
Oh yeah, no, it's a real fucking weird thing. So
Oh yeah, I did watch it. Yeah, it's kind of like I would liken it to getting your first period.
Yeah,
Because it's scary to look down and go blood.
If
but
you don't get
knew it was,
warned, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
If-
even if you get warned, it doesn't really warn you for how much. Like they
you're
say,
like, oh yeah,
they tell
Mum,
ya.
all
They say,
right,
oh, is
a
the-
bit of blood will come out. It'll be fine.
a
I'll
bit of blood
handle
will
it.
come, but there's a lot, and you're a little bit like, what do I do?
I suppose because
Yeah.
you never know when it's coming. It eventually just happens, and you're just out doing your
Yeah,
shit.
it's not like I'm playing with myself and suddenly there's white stuff. It's like I was just going about my day. I was at my friend's house, which was worse because then you have to go talk to them or their
Yeah.
parents and be like, hey, this has happened. I'm sorry. I don't have any clean. That's the worst.
I don't do well with blood, so I like went into shock a little bit. I
Passed
remember feeling so dizzy.
I felt so ashamed, and then I think maybe about 1 or 2 minutes into it, I realized I didn't realize it was what it was, and then I didn't feel shame. I felt, oh, this is the thing.
This is the thing.
Yeah, I
Fuck yeah, finally.
was like, oh.
Yeah. Sorry, yes.
Do guys get warned? Like, do you get the talk about what's going to happen
I didn't
one
really
day?
like, and I think you kind of get it at school.
Yeah.
But it's in this weird context where they're like, "Don't worry, guys. If you masturbate, you're not actually going to grow hair on your palms." And then you're like, "What? So I'm going to grow hair on my palms?"
Yeah,
the
that's
fuck's
all you
this shit?
hear.
They're like, "No, you won't." You're like, "But it's a possibility, though, right?"
Why
For
even?
the story to happen, like it's got to have come from somewhere. There has to be some factual basis in this.
Why even mention it?
Yeah.
What's
it's like,
going?
how do we get to that? And so you just like it's just all. I suppose maybe it's kind of like your period. It's kind of like intellectual until it
I mean,
happens.
yeah,
You're like,
in-
okay, yeah.
You know
Sex ed and stuff. I remember learning a lot about the insides, like on a chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
But nothing really
You-
about what was actually
I
gonna
learned a
happen.
lot about don't let a guy pressure me into having sex, and also sex is what happens with your parts, right?
Yeah.
Don't let a guy pressure you, and then going through all these scenarios of if a guy is pressuring you, what you can say to kind of like get out of that situation. But what we never got taught like what masturbation was for females. So when I
to
first
do it,
started
yeah.
doing it, I was like, I thought I discovered something.
Why is everybody not doing this?
I was like, there's a button down there, and if you push it a lot,
I'm gonna blow some fucking minds.
I didn't have my first orgasm till I was like 22.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Really?
Yeah. Because I didn't have sex till I was 21. And I thought dudes were the one that gave you the orgasm. And also I didn't know what an
This
orgasm
is some
was.
real repressed Catholic
So you didn't know
girl
what
shit.
all happened was. So you don't think you definitely didn't have any before then, and you just were like, I don't know
Well,
what that is.
I
Those
enjoyed
little
I
ones?
enjoyed sex, and I thought that's what having sex was. I thought that was the enjoyment. Though. You know, when you see the girls in the movies going, oh, I was like, oh, that's the enjoyment, that feeling. But I didn't know there was an end to it. And when I found out, I was very mad at my boyfriend.
You fucker. You've been hiding this from me the whole time.
It's not his fault. I faked it. I didn't even know what I was faking. I was like, he's just not finishing. What do? I'll just yell loudly and he stops most of the time. No, I know. It's just kind of like I just did it and I didn't think of it. And that's not, I didn't view myself in that way, which is strange because I view myself very much in that way now.
She's had
We
6
know.
orgasms. Orgasm Gem is a big fan.
We view her in that way too. Oh, I wish you didn't do that dorky face when I said that.
What?
No, it works for me.
It was like a real nice compliment. I look over and she's doing that.
It's my favorite face. That's just my face. You're so mean to me.
I feel like Jemma would roleplay as Charlie Chaplin or something.
I feel like I've seen you in like a Charlie
She
Chaplin
just looks
costume.
like she owns a Charlie Chaplin
You
costume.
absolutely do. That's so weird. Why do you do that? Why is that a thing about you?
It's really strange and sometimes I feel like Charlie
Also,
Chaplin.
Gemma, have you noticed how well like and she thinks she got away with it? Jade's led the conversation away from talking about her first orgasm.
Yeah, interesting.
She's just dodged that completely.
I
Yeah.
don't remember my first one. I just know. I don't know.
Well, you don't remember the first time, like ever?
No.
You no?
No, I just.
Did you? So you didn't sneak up on you at all?
No. I was definitely
You were aware.
having orgasms in my teens.
You were like, you had the equipment down.
I was also having sex in my teens because I was rad as hell.
Oh yeah, that'll
Fuck.
do it. That'll do it.
I didn't realise we were hanging out with fucking cool kid over here. All right, back of the bus. Calm down.
Don't look
Fuck.
at me. I didn't have sex until I was 21.
Hey, me too. What's up?
Say,
Yeah,
oh.
Was yours because she felt sorry for you? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I did feel sorry for me. Yeah, that's why. Definitely why I had sex. Oh, why aren't boys paying attention to me? I keep making videos of me with myself.
Because you're in your room doing
Weird clone videos. That Jemma girl, she's strange.
they're hanging out with you, and then you start telling about. And anyway, and then mustache Gemma pulls off the mustache. Big reveal. It was normal Gemma the whole time. They're like, "Fuck, not worth it."
Roleplay would be exhausting with Jemma because there's multiple characters. They're all going to make a different
You gotta
entrance and
keep
there's
track of a
costume.
lot.
One thing I've noticed is
You
consistent.
get a reference sheet.
It's like
You get a casting sheet, like a casting call.
it's got like all the relationships, you know, like one of those. It's like Game of Thrones, and you're like, okay, where are they this week?
Fuck, what happened at the end of last season? I can't. I need a. Every time you go to bang again, you need a fucking. What do you call it? Like
A recap. A recap.
Would have been funnier if I just said it straight off the top.
The guy gets a normal role play and it turns out there's just another Jemma playing a character.
He's like, it would have been hotter if you were just you know? Instead, she's got this weird, like, paper mustache. I'm another guy. I didn't like this.
I'm a boy. Let's have sex.
What makes it very uncomfortable is the dildo that she has strapped to her is bigger than the guy that I'm currently seeing. Very uncomfortable. You wouldn't believe how uncomfortable that makes men.
Oh, nothing ruins the mood like dildo envy.
Oh, dildo envy.
Wow, we really covered some ground tonight.
Is that too weird a note to end on?
On dildo envy?
Dildo envy.
I think we've ended it stranger.
Can-
Why did I say it like that?
That made it weirder.
Sorry.
We'll call this episode Dildo Envy. Nick, how much do you regret this?
Look, I trust you guys not to burn me too hard.
Nick's going to do really well in comedy and it's going to be our podcast that makes people lose faith in him.
Yeah, definitely not my behaviour in every other part of my life.
No, nothing wrong with it.
I like the idea that you go on Car Crash to fix yourself and then you come back here and just undo all the work.
Just let loose.
Yeah.
We're in direct competition with Good Chat Comedy Club now.
Hey, girls, we bring the worst out in each other. That's why we're friends. It's good. We're just letting ourselves be ourselves. And then in Gemma's case, we're letting her be herself and then also a version of herself with a mustache and then a bunch of weird other, like a lazy one apparently and maybe one that's, I don't know, like I couldn't.
Lazy one is the recurring character. She's in all of them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's my buddy.
We have to end this.
Yeah. I think that we ended by killing ourselves. Is that how it works?
Someone send help.
Suicide pact.
That's best.